Well, some Democratic lawmakers have been very outspoken about executive orders and memos issued by President Donald Trump. One of them is Dublin Congressman Eric Swalwell. Representative Swalwell joins us now from Washington, D.C. And I know you were on the floor today talking specifically about the Keystone and Dakota pipelines. What's your biggest concern here, and what effectively did his memos or proclamations or executive orders, I'm not quite sure what the force behind those words today, what do they do in terms of putting these two pipelines in motion?
Well, thanks for having me on, Ted. And, also this past weekend, I marched with thousands of women and male feminists in Walnut Creek. And what I heard from them was, it's my body, it's my choice, it's her body, it's her choice. And just this afternoon, with the support of President Trump, we saw the House Republicans vote to take away abortion services, especially from any employer that wants to provide them with Affordable Care Act tax credits. On top of that, we see that President Trump is rolling back the protections that President Obama put in place to address clean water and clean air with the Dakota pipeline and the Keystone pipeline. And also, he signed an executive order that will have the federal government start to dismantle the Affordable Care Act without anything to replace it. So it's been a bad so far for women. It's a bad week so far for anyone who relies on the Affordable Care Act for their health care, and it's a bad week for anyone that wants clean water and clean air in our country.
Talking about the pipelines from a practical standpoint, Donald Trump and Republicans say that, hey, these are hundreds and thousands, possibly, jobs moving forward. Why shouldn't we move forward with these two projects which could stimulate the economies in those areas of the country?
And I care a lot about the men and women who count on these kinds of jobs. And what I have suggested is that we invest in clean energy jobs, whether it's wind, solar, fuel cells. Put these men and women to work, but do it in a way that keeps our water safe to drink and our air clean and pure to breathe. So we should be looking out for these men and women, but just like so many other countries across the world, we should devote ourselves to investing in jobs that are good for our earth and good for our health.
You talk about the week so far, the Trump presidency just getting started. How much frustration is there, not only on Capitol Hill, but from your constituents as well here in Northern California?
Well, a lot of my constituents are asking me, why is President Trump single-handedly the only person who is claiming that millions of people voted illegally, while also saying simultaneously that Russia had nothing to do with influencing our election. He seems to be the only leader that believes those two things at the same time. And a lot of people want to make sure that we do everything we can to restore the integrity of our elections. And so that's why I and a colleague of mine, we have every single Democratic House member supporting the Protect Our Democracy Act that will look in a bipartisan, independent way what Russia did, and most importantly, make sure they or no foreign adversary does this again. And so I'm still concerned that we don't forget about what happened with the hacking and influence campaign that took place with our election.
All right, Eric Swalwell, quite an week, and there'll be more to come. Thanks for coming on today.
Thanks,
and we'll talk to you again very soon.